This is our third reading of Wonder. So I'm going to pick up where I left off last night. Those were only a minute and 30 seconds, so I'm doing it a different way now. We are back to the switching tables in the cafeteria. We're learning how Jack feels. It's told from his point of view. And he's talking about the second time when he was in the cafeteria and tried to sit down with some boys. So let's pick up from there, and we'll get a little more read today. Unfortunately, Mrs. G, who was the lunch teacher that day, saw what happened and chased after them. "That's not allowed, boys," she scolded them loudly. "This is not that kind of school. You get right back to your table." Oh, great. Like that was going to help. Before they could be forced to sit back down at my table, I got up with my tray and walked away really fast. I could hear Mrs. G call my name, but I pretended not to hear and just kept walking to the other side of the cafeteria behind the lunch counter. "Sit with us, Jack." It was Summer. She and August were sitting at their table, and they were both waving me over. Next chapter is called "Why Didn't I Sit with August the First Day of School?" Okay, I'm a total hypocrite. I know. That first day of school, I remember seeing August in the cafeteria. Everybody was looking at him, talking about him. Back then, no one was used to his face or even knew that he was coming to Beecher. So it was a total shocker for a lot of people to see him there on the first day of school. Most kids were even afraid to get near him. So when I saw him going into the cafeteria ahead of me, I knew he'd have no one to sit with, but I just couldn't bring myself to sit with him. I had been hanging out with him all morning long because we'd had so many classes together, and I guess it was just kind of wanting a little normal time to chill with other kids. So when I saw him move to a table on the other side of the lunch counter, I purposely found a table as far away from there as I could find. I sat down with Isaiah and Luca, even though I'd never met them before, and we talked about baseball the whole time, and I played basketball with them at recess. They became my lunch table from then on. I heard Summer and had sat down with August, which surprised me because I knew for a fact that she was not one of the kids that Tushman had talked to about being friends with Augie. So I knew she was going to just be nice, and that was pretty brave, I thought. So here I was sitting with Summer and August, and they were being totally nice to me as always. I filled them in on everything Charlotte had told me, except for the whole big part about me having snapped under the pressure of being Augie's friend, or the part about Julian's mom saying that Augie had special needs, or the part about the school board. I guess all I really told them about was how Julian had the holiday party and managed to turn the whole grade against me. "It just feels so weird," I said, "to not have people talking to you. To not have people talking to you, pretending that you don't even exist." Augie started smiling. "You think?" he said sarcastically. "Well, welcome to my world." The next chapter is entitled Sides. So here are the official sides. Summer at lunch the next day, she pulled out a folded piece of loose leaf paper and opened it. It had 3 columns of names: Jack's side, Julian's side, and neutrals. This is what the author presented in the book for the sides. So you can see on Jack's side, Jack, August, Reed, Max G, and Max W are the only ones on Jack's side. Julian's side has a lot more name, and then there's some neutrals over in the right-hand column. "Where did you get this?" said Augie, looking over my shoulder as I read the list. "Charlotte made it." Summer answered quickly. "She gave it to me last period. She said she thought you should know who was on your side, Jack." Yeah, not many people, that's for sure," I said. Rita's, she said, and the two Maxes. Great. Don't be mean, said Summer. I think Charlotte likes you, by the way. Yeah, I know. Are you going to ask her out? Are you kidding? I can't. Now that everybody's acting like I have the plague. The second I said it, I realized I shouldn't have said it. There was this awful moment of silence. I looked at Augie. It's okay, he said. I knew about that. Sorry, dude, I said. I didn't know they called it the plague, though, he said. I figured it was more like the cheese touch or something. Oh, yeah, like Diary of a Wimpy Kid, I nodded. The plague actually sounded cooler, he joked. Like someone could catch the black death of ugliness. As he said this, he made air quotes. I think it's awful, said Summer, but Augie shrugged while taking a sip from his juice box. Anyway, I'm not asking Charlotte out, I said. My mom thinks we're all too young to be dating anyway, she answered. What if Reed asked you out, I said. Would you go? I could tell she was surprised. No, she said. I'm just asking, I laughed. She shook her head and smiled. Why? What do you know? Nothing. I'm just asking, I said. I actually agree with my mom, she said. I do think we're too young to be dating. I mean, I just don't see what the rush is. Yes, I agreed, said August, which is kind of a shame, you know? What with all those babes who keep throwing themselves at me and stuff? He said this in such a funny way that the milk that he was drinking came out my nose when I laughed.